So according to the Newton's third rule, so that any object which is on something on the ground or table or everything, so it has its opposite force, which is equal to this. They are equal to each other. So for example, if I put this on the laptop, so the force it's giving to the laptop, I mean mg, so it's the same as the laptop is giving towards um, the this bottle's cover. So and then yes, and for example, whenever we move something, for example, I'm pulling the force, right? So I'm giving the force to pull it down. Yeah, but every time there is a frictional force. But for example, yeah, every time, for example, whenever you do something, there is a frictional force opposite to the force which you are giving. So but in some examples they just simplify everything and they say that the force is frictionless. And for example here, frictional force is so you have to know that frictional force is coefficient of friction is lettered by u, mu. So frictional force is mu times n. So in the on just a plane, so the n is equal to mg. So the mu is equal times mg. So it will be like that in the plane. But and f net, so for example so f net, it's the total force is given to the object. So the total force is f, which is given by me, and frictional force, which is the opposite of the force I am giving. So and for example, if the f total is 0, so it means that that the friction force and force I'm giving is the same, so it will not move. Just remember this. And okay, and for example, so about this one, I kind of I tell you to memorize that friction force is mu times n, not just mg, because in the inclined plane problems you will face that. So for example, if the plane is inclined, so for example the so according to the third rule of the Newton, so if for example anything is pushing down the force, so it gives the same force. Yes, so it's giving the same force, and here for example it's giving the force, so it's giving the upside, I mean to that side. So
One, two.
and it's here like that, not like that, because it's perpendicular. It has to be perpendicular all the time. So in inclined planes, f is mu. So here the angle is 30 degrees, so mu times mg times cosine 30. Just memorize this because it will be a bit confusing for you if you try to explain, try to understand it. So for example, as it is, so for example as normal force is perpendicular to the surface, so and here it's not like that. So just by calculating by math, we calculated that n here, this n is mg times, so n is mg cosine, and this theta, always this theta, not this one. So this theta. So yeah, so in this example, so the overall force is F minus F. You just calculate this, and then you just calculate this, and then you just have an answer.